Ladies and gentlemen, we have created so many NBA player builds this year, but there was one last one specifically that I wanted to create. This is a Kobe Bryant build from a time period that, believe it or not, I feel like never gets talked about. When you talk about Kobe, it's either Froby, the young Kobe with the afro winning the three-peat with Shaq, or it's Black Mamba Kobe, number 24. But there was an in-between period where there wasn't too much team success, but in my opinion, Kobe was at his absolute individual peak. This was the season where he averaged over 35 points per game, dropped 81 points on the Raptors. And this specific Kobe is very near and dear to my heart because this is when I was, growing up, really playing ball and idolizing this man, watching him go to war every day with really no help around him. And he was going absolutely crazy. So I set out to create the perfect 2006 Kobe Bryant build. Now, the one thing you're going to see is I made him a point guard. But the reason being, but he's a shooting guard. I get it. But I wanted more badges. Point guard for this build got more badges, and it allowed me to get floor general and dimer. Okay, so don't worry about the position. Everything else is spot on. Contact dunks, consistent three-point shooting, ridiculous fadeaway, good ball handling, good passing. The only thing, the post moves, I wasn't able to put it up, but honestly, it really doesn't affect much. You can still post spin and all that, but then here's the difference. Look at the defense on this build. Kobe Bryant was an elite two-way player, especially in his prime. He would not only drop 50 on you, but he would lock you up. So I had to put up the defense. Look at the badge spread on this build. Oh my God. 20 finishing, 26 shooting, 24 playmaking. And just like we said, we made him a point guard so we get floor general and dimer, because listen, it's Kobe. We're gonna be ISOing. We want to be able to, when we pass to our teammates, help them out. That's why we went point guard. And 21 defensive badges. Look at this build. An absolute scoring machine. Unstoppable offensively, but he still gets 21 defensive badges. This build is, in my opinion, a great representation of prime Kobe, and you're about to see in all these 2v2 gameplays, man. So please drop a like on the video. I grinded this build out in 2 days because I was so motivated to put this video out for you guys, man. And let me tell you something. This build, when you think of 2006 Kobe, go watch highlights. This man was unstoppable offensively. He would rain 3 after 3 on you if you played back. If you play tight, he was so explosive. And if you guys remember, I had a similar build to this at small forward, but I just felt he wasn't explosive enough. His first step was not fast enough to be 2006 Kobe. So I deleted that build and grinded out a brand new build in 2 days. Hall of Fame finishing, Hall of Fame shooting, still extremely quick off the dribble. Look at how deadly this player is. Now, typically, if you guys have been watching wagers or you play 2K a lot yourself, when you're an ISO player, what do they eventually do? They just say, you know what? We can't stop him from getting to the basket, so we're just going to let him shoot. Well, on this build, it is automatic. An 82 three-pointer with Hall of Fame shooting badges. I mean, this is prime Kobe. Like Kobe at his absolute peak. I don't know why those in-between years, maybe because, Kobe's thought of as a champion, a 5-time champion. We always think about him winning championships. But honestly, when the team was kind of in a rebuild, I guess you could call it, when the Lakers were in a rebuild, I felt like Kobe was at his absolute best. And it's a shame. I would have loved if they had a better team and we got to see this man in the playoffs at his absolute peak, because I feel like this is the perfect blend of where you get the athleticism of Froby, but you get the refined skill, shooting, just complete understanding of what you're trying to do on the basketball court of the Black Mamba, and you mold them into 2, and that's what you get. This is when Kobe was just, he was carrying the Lakers when they had Smush Parker, Kwame Brown, like Luke Walton. No offense to any of those guys, but they just did not have an elite team. This man was putting up over 35 points per game. That's when like I said, we saw the 81-point performance against Toronto, and that's what inspired this outfit that I'm wearing here. I don't know if y'all remember. If you go look up a picture of when he dropped 81, I literally created the shoes. I got the exact accessories on. We got the white uniform. It's literally 81-point Kobe on the 2s right now. That's what my mindset was when I was like, you know what? I'm deleting this small forward facilitating finisher. Oh yeah, that's another thing. They literally call it a facilitating finisher. It's like this year, no matter what build I make, they call it a facilitating finisher. But I'm not really worried about the name. I mean, if I can make like a 6'6" two-way scoring machine, I guess that would be the perfect name for Kobe, but you can't make a two-way scoring machine that's 6'6", okay? And that's the thing with this build. A lot of people make it 6'5", and it's called a scoring machine. I went 6'6" because Kobe's 6'6", and I wanted it to be as close to Kobe as possible. The only thing, like I said, is because it's a point guard, it's not a shooting guard like his actual position. But the reason for that was to get more badges, which makes the build better, and to get that floor general and that dimer, because obviously that's going to help my teammates when I'm isoing on the 2s, 3s, or 5s. Now, my thought with this build is, I feel like I've done everything and shown everything on 2s, really, or 3s in the park. Maybe I take this build to the Pro-Am and see how much we could carry in a 5-on-5 setting. I think that would be something interesting. Maybe y'all would want to watch that. Something different to do with these NBA player builds, you know. I mean, the park is fun and all, but eventually there's only so much you could do. You know, go to the stage, you could play 2s or 3s. That's about it. We haven't done too much Pro-Am, so if I could find a way to make it very entertaining for y'all, maybe we could go and do that. But this build here, man, let me tell you, I've ISO'd on a lot of players this year. Now, I just finished this. This was the first time using it at 99.9 in the park, and I'm going to tell you right now, I felt unstoppable. I felt like if they played back, which a lot of people do when you're ISOing, they're like, you know, let's make them shoot. It's straight cash. You see some of the shots I'm hitting, 20, 30% contesteds, never mind wide open, it's automatic. But you can also, like I said, I remade him so that he has more acceleration, so he's faster. His first step is quicker. He could get to the basket with more ease. And man, it felt lethal. It really felt like I was playing on 2006 Kobe, because he was unstoppable that season. Like, I mean, we think of Kobe being unstoppable, but I feel like I said, that was him at his absolute peak on both ends of the court, athletically, all that. So listen, if you're still watching the video, first of all, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate everyone who watches, but especially those people that stick around all the way to the end. So if you haven't already, make sure you go drop a like for me. And while you're down there, comment, when do you think Kobe was at his absolute best individually? You know what I'm saying? I understand earlier he had more team success. Later on, he had more team success. But in my opinion, that 2005-2006 season, watching that single-handedly, this man just carry a team on his back where, you know, he's getting double and triple teamed and he's still putting up 35 points per game. You know, he had multiple streaks of 40. I think he had like 5 straight 50-point games or something. Like, he was out of his mind. He was out of his mind that season. And on the 2K side of this build, I feel like it's the perfect build for my style of ISOing. You know, I don't like those smaller players that have a ton of ball handling. I honestly think the dribble moves you get before 86 ball control are better than the ones you get after. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but even Steezo said the same thing. I feel like these moves are more effective in the game than the higher tier dribbling. The higher tier dribbling, I feel like you don't need a screen, but it's almost better to have a screen. These ones I feel like are better for ISO. But also the thing with ISO is I feel like, you know, even on like my LeBron build, what people will start to do is they realize, you know, they can't stop me in the paint. So they'll just put a bigger defender on me and just sit back. And, you know, I only have a 65 3-pointer, which you can shoot pretty good with, but eventually the game's going to make you miss. You're not going to go 7 for 7 every game with a 65 3-ball. And that's why I feel like this build, in terms of scoring on the ISO, the other build's better playmaking for sure. But in terms of scoring on, you know, just 1v1, you know, me versus you on the 2s, you know, and obviously a help defender could come over, but basically ISOing mano y mano on the 2s or 3s or 5s, I feel like this build is better than my LeBron build, which you could say Kobe, you know, he's more of a scorer's mentality. You know, he's looking to score as opposed to, you know, Bron is looking to not only score but facilitate, get his teammates involved. Kobe was just a straight, you know, scoring machine, just straight assassin. So the build fits Kobe better, but I also feel like in terms of ISOing, I'll be better at scoring on this one because, listen, if you play back, this build is going to knock that down. You've already seen, anytime they play back, it's just pull up, it's too easy. They have to play tight. And then when they play tight, you already know Kobe's going by him, got contact dunks, great layup and dunk rating, all that type of stuff. So For me, I'm really happy with how this build came out. I had a vision of 2005, 2006 season Kobe Bryant, and I feel like I got as close as possible that I could with that My Player builder. You know, the ability to speed boost, dunk all over people, shoot consistent post fades, mid-range, three-pointers, and then the thing that caps it off is having 21 defensive badges. That just culminates it and makes it a prime Kobe Bryant build, man. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys drop a like for me, man. That helps me out so much. But I got a bunch more videos planned on this prime Kobe Bryant build, so stick around for that. But until next time, I'm out. Peace.